Good afternoon, grade 10s. This video is going to be catered specifically for you. This is the grade 10 pet that we have handed out this past week. If you would like to just catch up a bit, or if you forgot something, I'm going to go through the list and everything with you again, so you know exactly what needs to happen. I am going to try and put some timestamps as well for each section, and then it should assist you. I'm going to cover this as if you've never done it before or you never heard it before. Let's start. So the pad task, the civil project that's at hand, looks like this. The scenario is as follows. The architect firm where you work has been contracted to design a new estate called Westville. The estate is going to be located next to a very popular golf course. Your firm has tasked you as an up-and-coming architect to design the security and access control structure that acts as a control point for access into and out of the estate. The area available for this structure is 16 meters squared. The specifications, this is stuff that you cannot get around with not adding in your pad. It has to be there. It's specified. You need to put these in. The security and access control structure must be 16 meters squared. Alright, so you can make it more or less, it has to be that. There must be a single door for simple access into the structure. So one door that goes into the structure. There must be a closed off bathroom for a toilet and wash basin inside of the structure. So inside of that 4 by 4 meter space, you need to have a single wall that has like a little separate area for a toilet and a wash basin. I am going to show you an example in just a bit, so you can get an idea what needs to happen here. Alright, so you'll have 2 rooms after you've done this. Both rooms must have a light source. There has to be a suitable window fitted for each room. We've already discussed where window schedules are fitted for different types of rooms. You'll have to do research on this. There must be a corner desk installed. Alright, so these fixtures and these specifications has to be in your floor plan. You can't get around without them. Alright, so that is basically what you have to put in your project. The pad consists of 2 phases. Phase 1 is the presentation, right? This is usually the research part of your pad. This is what you need to do. Rewrite the design brief in your own words by explaining what is expected of you. So this is your design project here. This is considered to be your design brief. You need to write this in your own words, where you explain what you have to do as a architect that has to design this building. You need to be able to say, I am an architect that has been chosen to design this in this building, and this is what I'm planning to do, and it has to have these fixtures in it, and what. So you have to use your initiative, redraw this, or rewrite this in a paragraph, and just in your own words. Then conduct research on the following: a guardhouse design and sizes. So there's 2 subsections in here: a guardhouse design and then sizes of guardhouses, bathroom window sizes and types. So this is where you have specific window types or window schedules, and specific windows fit into specific categories or specific rooms. You need to do a bit of research on this. I'm going to go through what the research entails in just a minute. Draw 2 freehand sketches for possible layouts for the floor plan. Right, so you are going to draw 2 freehand drawings. That means you don't use any instruments for phase 1. Complete the table for selecting your final plan. Alright, I am going to give you the table. I'm going to discuss the table with you in a minute. And number 5, complete the management plan that specifies target dates for the completion of each presentation requirement. I want you to draw a cross through this. We are not doing that in grade 10. Initially when I set this up, I wanted you to do it, but it's only grade 12 that you need that. Then you should have this. Now this is very important. Your research must be on 4 A4 pages. So 1 page is considered to be like this. This is 1 page. At the back you have 2 pages. So 2 A4 pages front and back is going to make your research. Your research must be relevant and should therefore be in the form of graphic material. pictures and illustrations. So when you have your pet and you have your research, I'm going to show you an example here of what you can do. I just want to get to the research part. Just 1 minute. There we go. So this was where people had to make research or put research for multi-panel doors. So you can see there's now 5 pictures that very neatly demonstrate what needs to happen. So there's like a real life picture here. Then there's like an elevated picture where they have some measurements on here, a floor plan picture. So it gives a bit of a variety. So you need to have 4 pictures for a guardhouse, and you need to have 4 pictures for window schedules. So this is a perfect example. When you do a guardhouse, have a picture that looks like a real life picture, have one that looks like a elevated drawing, and then have one that looks like a floor plan. And you see this boils over to the other topics as well. Okay, so I hope this is going to assist you. It is easy. You only need pictures. You don't need any additional writing or measurements or stuff on there. Okay, so that is what the research is going to entail. Evidence of at least 4 pictures are needed per topic. Include a list of references used, bibliography directly after the research. Okay, we're going to go through this in a minute. There must be a cover page with your name, surname, grade, class, and also a sketch or picture that relates to the topic of the pet. So if you have a cover page, I would suggest that you have a picture of a guardhouse. I mean, that's what your pet is about. So just take one of the research pictures that you are doing and someone paste it on the front page as well. That should suffice, and it should be more than enough. Now, phase 2 is the following. This is now your instrument drawings. So this is the research being done. Now you have a floor plan drawn to scale 1 to 50. You must add a horizontal cutting plane through your floor plan labeled AA. I'm going to show to you exactly what this is in a minute. Selection or the sectional elevation drawn to a scale 1 to 50. The floor plan and the section are exactly the same because you are using the floor plan to draw the section. And the perspective drawing I've already given you, so you don't have to design anything here, you just have to draw it. Okay, so from this, all right, management plan, you don't need this, you shouldn't have it with you. This is your floor plan, the pages that you should have for your floor plan. So initially what I want you to do is, you'll see that at the bottom here, it says the scale for each block is 0.2 by 0.2 meters. That means if you put your starting point here, you have to draw freehand drawings on this grid paper. 2 of them. So you'll have one, and then you'll have another one at the back of this. So from here to there, the first block means that's 200 millimeters in real life. So if you take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that point there, from here to there, it's 1 meter. Then it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's 2 meters. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's 3 meters. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's 4 meters. Okay, so your drawing has to be 16 meters squared. What gives you 16 meters squared? It's area equals L times breadth. That is going to be 4 times 4. Gives you 16. So you need to have a line like this that goes all the way up to there 4, and then you count it upwards as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 meters. So if you extend these lines, remember, this has to be freehand, so you can't use any ruler, you just have to use the lines that has been given to you. So to give you an idea, that is kind of how big your floor plan has to be on the grid paper. You can choose where you want to start this. Then you also have to add the double walls. So this is the area that's on the inside, right? So you can choose now, it's not going to make that big of a difference, just in the design process of your pet. You can either choose the outside, to draw the double wall, or you can choose the inside. Obviously the area is going to be a bit smaller if you use the inside, so I would suggest use the outside, but I won't penalize you at this point for that. So if you add a double wall, the standard size for a double wall is, or a load bearing wall, is 222 millimeters. So it's perfectly almost in line with what the scale is that we have. So this line that comes down all the way to there, goes in all the way to there. So that now should give you the outline of the building that you are working with. So we all know that the standard measurement for a door opening in real life is 900 millimeters. So if you look at this opening, let's say from here, that's 200. So 2, 4, 6, 8. And then in between this, it's 9. So there to there. And then a door, if it opens, it all obviously opens in the same width as what the opening is. So here it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So you want to try and draw this as closely resembling the scale as you can. So remember, this has to be going out a bit more, but this is supposed to be freehand. So this is what needs to happen ultimately once you are done. And like I said, again, if there's anything that's unclear, I have the Discord channel that's also linked to all of these. So just click on there, ask me, send a direct message on Discord, and I'm happy to reply. And you can even make an appointment with me so I can see you at school, or that I can meet you in one of the rooms, chat rooms, and then we can just address the issue. You're more than welcome. So you'll have to do this and do 2 different design types for 2 different designs. So it's the floor plan for both of these. You have to do this design, and ultimately I just want to show you a little example of what your final product has to look like. So here we have an example of a 4 by 4 meters. The door opening that I showed you there, you need to have a switch or a light in each one of the rooms. So you can see I've added that. You need to have a corner desk, that's one of the specifications. You need to have a toilet and a wash basin, and then obviously we've labeled the rooms with the tile set that it has. And then there's a window here, and there's a window there. That's specifically for the room type. And here you can see I've added a cutting plane, AA. Now you can add this anywhere. The instruction says it at least has to be a horizontal cutting plane. So it doesn't matter if you put it here or if you put it through there. The only thing that will change, if I put this cutting plane up here, it means it cuts through the 2 load bearing walls, and it also cuts through the single wall, which means these 2 will look exactly the same when you do the section, but it's also going to indicate on the middle here another wall, right? It all depends where I'm placing my cutting plane. So this is a very basic, straightforward drawing. Security room, 1 door going into the building, and then you have a little separate room for the facilities, bathroom facilities. The section, I'm not giving you any starting points here. I can quickly just show you on the final product that you should have. I'm giving you the outline already for this drawing. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. You are just using the same measurements, just transposing it to scale 1 to 50, and then you're using it from your freehand drafts. So this is what you should have. You can use any distance here as long as it doesn't connect on any part of your drawing. If you maybe have a window up here, so this doesn't go over the window. And I'm also giving you the schedule like this. So you should already have window schedules here. You should already have the toilet facilities, the light switches, and then the foundations. So there shouldn't be any issue for you not to get to this point. Now we're getting to this place. This is the last part of phase 1. This is where you have the selection of the floor plan. So once you have your 2 floor plan designs like these, you are going to set up a criteria, right? You need to have some specifications here that says, and this is going to be very basic. I really want you to go and do some digging and see if you can get some proper criteria lists. But a criteria that you can use to weigh these 2 floor plans together. You'll have 2 designs, and then you have to be able to to put a criteria list that you can weigh them together and see which one is best. So you'll have a scale that you have to use to measure them as well. So I'm going to give you a very basic example. I don't want you to specifically use this because it isn't really, I don't want to give you answers. I need you to figure this out on your own, or Google, or do something regarding this. But let's say I'm putting a criteria as air flow. So the building is designed in such a way that it has a surplus or a specific amount of airflow. For drawing 1, you can say, for instance, it doesn't meet the requirements because it lacks a window on the proper space. And then you have a listing or a rating scale. Floor plan 2, you can say this drawing or this plan fits perfectly in the criteria because the windows are placed properly, right? This is what you can put there. And then you give them a rating, let's say out of 10. This one might score 8, this one might score 4. So ultimately you are going to have 5 criteria. You'll have a decent explanation on each one of them here, where you state and say why they fit the criteria or why they don't. And then you'll have a specific rating scale out of 10 for each one of these 5. Okay, so you'll have a number here. Once you are done, down here, you are going to write, let's say it should be out of 50 once you are done. So if this plan of yours scored 46 and this one scored 32, then it automatically means this floor plan was the one you chose. So in this small space or just below on the page here, you can write there a summary of why floor plan 2 was the best. So this is where I want you to take all the criteria in order and say floor plan 2 is the best, or it's a chosen floor plan because it has enough airflow. Then you can go ahead and say it fits all the criteria. Just have a decent summary of all the criteria lists, and then specify why that plan was chosen. So this is going to be the end of phase 1. Then we're heading to phase 2. This is where you have your final product or your final draft for your floor plan. This, you just have to take your floor plan that you've designed. Let's say this is the one I've chosen. And then if this is 4 meters, remember now, 4 meters equals 4,000 millimeters. If you divide this by 50, you get a specific amount. I don't want to give you the stuff because you have to work this out. So you have to take this number and then you have to divide it by 50. That's going to give you the lines that you have here. And you're going to do this for all the criteria lists that I gave you here. All of these are going to be divided by 50, just like we've done in the class. And then you are going to put this on and do your own design. So you can have a door up here, you can have a door on the left. I don't care how you design it, as long as you have 2 different designs on phase 1. And the best one that you've done with a selection of the floor plans, that's the one you have to redraw here. They have to be similar and they have to look the same. Then the last thing is, you can see on the top here, I didn't give you any starting point for your section. You just have to draw a cutting plane in here yourself somewhere, and then project these walls up and draw the section up there. So really not that complicated or difficult. And then the last thing that you have to do for phase 2 is you just have to redraw this 1-point perspective drawing. Okay, 1-point perspective is where you take the top view, you just project it down onto the GL, and you project the height onto the height lines and project them on. So this is where you take the SP straight up to the horizontal line and you have your VP point. So this is what it boils down to. Now the last thing that I just want to run through with you is exactly the layout of your pad. So the first thing is, and this is going to be one of the most important parts, your cover page. This is now for phase 1. Cover page needs to have a picture that represents the pad. When I turn your cover page around, I need to see a table of content. And this is an example. Your table of content will state design brief. This is where you rewrite the design brief in your own words. Then it would say research. and the research is 2.1, 2.2, guardhouse and window schedule. And you can see I've also listed on which pages they are. You have to label and line your pages together, so it's exactly like this. Research is the third thing, so cover page, table of content, then you have your research, the guardhouse research, the 4 pictures, and the window schedules, the 4 pictures. Then you have a bibliography, and this is very important. It has to have the Harvard referencing style. So this is an example of one where you have the surname of the person, the initials, the date that it was published, then you have the title, right? There's the orchid, that's the title of the picture, and then you have the link that you use to get that picture. So you have the initials, the surname, initials, the date it was published, the name of the picture or the photograph, and then you can paste the link. Don't just paste the link, because that is not a proper reference. You're still stealing. And then just underneath this you say it was accessed whenever you are accessing it. Okay, please put that in there. So here you can see the last name of the creator, the initials, the year, title of the image, and then the URL. Then after your research is done, or your bibliography, sorry, for the research, you put in the 2 freehand designs. That is where you have those block designs that you have to do, front and back. After that, you have your selection of your best solution. Okay, and this has to be handed in on the 26th of August. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is going to be the Friday. If you want, you can add in both together. The phase 2 only has the final floor plan, the sectional, which is on that same page, and then it has the perspective drawing. Alright, I hope this helps you. For you that were not in class, this should be beneficial. Please go have a look at this. Ask me questions. You have the entire week to complete phase 1. So actually you have 2 weeks or 2 weekends. Please get this done. Don't let it stand over and risk your marks, because this is going to count 25% of your year mark. Alright, I hope this helps and enjoy your weekend.